Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Only thing I got to say is thank you for everybody that watched season 1. And like I said, the last show I did on season 1 was with Kaylee McEnany, and I just thought it was a great way to exit out of season 1, and it was country. Now, most of y'all know I'm a metalhead at heart, so I wanted to open up season 2 with a hard rock gal, and let me tell you something. She's been out there making moves. Son, she has took over a lot of things, and I can't wait to see how far this lady goes in her career. Everybody, please welcome Miss Ronda Ray. What's up, girl?
Hey, David. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
We still got Christmas decorations up because it's January 1st, but, you know, everybody knows we recorded it before then anyway. So
Nothing wrong with that. Let's keep it festive.
Try to. If I can keep from coughing all daggone night. This crud is killing me.
The struggle is real.
I'm telling you, man. It is terrible.
Especially when you talk for a living.
Well, I mean, you know, I got the day job, and where we're moving trailers around and stuff on the yard, we got walkie-talkies. So we're talking all day long on these walkie-talkies, and then come home and do the podcast and everything else. Oh, I'll be glad when this crap's over with.
Yeah. I hope it's over soon for you.
Yeah, I know, right? Drives me nuts. So anyway, how you doing?
Amazing.
You know what I forgot to ask you?
What?
I was going to ask you to bring that trophy. I wanted to see that trophy. We could have set it right on the table.
We could have. We should have.
We should have.
Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I got a couple of those.
What other you got?
I won the 2022 or 23, whatever year. It was in January. The Best International Female Artist at the Radio Wigwam Awards over in London.
Wow.
I have to go to London in January, and then they're about to have those awards again. They just announced the nominees, and they played the previous winner at the beginning and gave a little shout out and everything. So
awesome.
I'm excited for all those nominees for this year because the Radio Wigwam Awards really were a clutch thing for me personally. So
that's awesome.
It's cool.
See, I didn't even know that when I was looking at your stuff.
I know, right?
I'm like, what the heck? But you gotta forgive me. Most of the stuff I just browse through. We're
all inundated with so much information that it's just overload.
There's times, and I ain't gonna lie, there's times I will throw my freaking phone somewhere and just walk away from it because it's going off all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Drives me nuts at work. I got people trying to call me to be on the show and stuff like that, and I'm like, I'll end up texting them back, contact Julie. Just leave me alone.
Right. I love having a person to say, contact this person.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Well, I mean, I've known Julie since high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Her and one of my friends dated way back then.
Crazy.
And we just, I don't know, developed a friendship. We've always talked and everything else, you know. I don't know. It's just, it's nice to have good friends.
It's so important.
You got to have that network.
Definitely.
The whole support group, the whole 9 yards. Somebody to come bail you out when
you got to have that really close network of people who see the real you and who you can be completely open with. And they're just going to be your sounding board. They're not going to judge you. They're going to give you honest feedback. You can have a meltdown with them, and then they know that tomorrow you're going to pick yourself up and carry on.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have that.
You got to. So where did you start out at?
My mama's piano.
The reason I asked that question, and like I told you, I don't really ask a whole lot of questions, but I do get curious where everybody kind of started out at.
Yeah.
You know, what got the bug going, you know?
Music was the culture of our household growing up. We didn't have a whole lot, but we had the things that really mattered. And I mean, we would gather around the piano, and my mom or my aunt would play and sing. We would all stand around the piano and sing. And then I was little, but you know, when the MTV started.
Oh God, don't even get me started on that.
Well, you know, it happened, and I had a cool aunt who was a teenager at the time, and she was just the coolest thing walking on two legs. And I'd watch MTV with her, and I saw these rock artists, and she had all the cool albums.
Yeah.
You know, Boston, Foreigner, Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, just all kinds of Pat Benatar. Just there was the music, but then she was tying it to culture because she was a cool teenager, and I felt like when she went out, got ready to go out for the night, she looked like Pat Benatar with her headband and all this stuff. And so it was just always there. I mean, I was putting on concerts on the Toy Box stage when I was little, and just always had the opportunity to do music.
Yeah, and well, kind of similar. I mean, what got me started was my mom had, and I wish she still had them, but she had like first presses of Elvis Presley and Aloha, you know, and the Beatles with the four of them. I don't know if it was called the Black Album or whatever it was called. I can't remember. And then after I got married the first time I moved out, I went by her house and she sold them all in a yard sale.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean,
somebody was
crazy.
Like, score.
Yeah, we're getting this one. It's going to be worth the whatever, how much later on in life, you know? And, it was my aunt Barbara that lived next door. She had, oh God, the Zepp and the Police and this and that. And you could go over her house and just jam out, you know? I mean, she was quite a bit younger than my mom. So she was kind of like the cool aunt, you know?
Oh yeah.
And, it was just, you just go over and jam out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, and then I got into Kiss.
Oh yeah.
And I think the very first time Kiss played the Municipal Auditorium here in Nashville, I had won tickets off the radio station, which was hard to do because we still had to dial up. You know?
Right.
But I won tickets, and I went down there and I seen the whole show, and I was just like mesmerized the whole show, man, with the makeup and the stage antics and everything else. And I had the whole Kiss collection all the way up till they took the makeup off. They pissed me off when they took the makeup off. I was like, no, you're a sellout.
What a band.
Well, I mean, they just played their last, supposedly their last. That's one thing I'm getting tired of, though. You've done 60 years of touring, and you're saying it's the end of the road or it's the last tour and all this other stuff. By God, make it the last tour.
Right. I read somewhere that they're going to do Kiss tours with holograms.
Yeah. I've heard that. I don't know how true it is.
I know, right? More of that information we're inundated with.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I am glad some of the older bands are coming back, though, and kind of like doing a little tour.
Well, they need to do that, and they need to take us younger ones with them.
Yeah, they really do. Because, I mean, it's
all about it.
I think Fog Hat's out right now.
Oh, man.
I love me some
Hell
Fog
yeah.
Hat back in the day. But it looks weird. Because now you got a 70, 80-year-old guy up there singing.
Going slow ride.
Yeah.
Take it easy. He's having a real slow ride.
Oh, yeah. He ain't jumping across that stage like he used to. Well, that stuff I like. And that's why I was telling you earlier, you know, I get to looking at people and looking at different artists and stuff like that, and stuff that I like, I definitely want on my show, you know?
Yeah.
And I ran across your stuff before Paula Ann. You even signed with Paula Ann, you know, A-Blaze Entertainment. And I was like, I was following you on some of the stuff and seeing where you'd been and the songs that you were doing. And I was like, damn, this girl's got something. And it's not a cold or a virus or a Nashville crud crap.
No, definitely not.
But that's one thing I wish they would do more of in Nashville. How can you call a place Music City, but it's primarily country? Makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder. That's a thinker.
Uh-huh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, and back in, oh God, I'm going to tell my age now. Back in 88 through 99, maybe 97. There used to be a big glam metal, hard rock movement in Nashville. And it was just a blast. We had all kinds of places to play. Sal's, Exit In, The End. Oh God, there's so many of them. You'd have had fun back then.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I was born at the wrong time, but
Hey, it happens.
you know,
Well, you're not that old.
we gotta take the cards we're dealt and make it work.
Yeah. But back to what I was saying earlier, you know, I like to get a little bit of background on people because I find it very interesting. So many people that are in the industry kind of all started with a piano, a church choir, or somebody in the family was kind of showing them the ropes. And I think it's cool as hell. Get out.
Yeah. I think it's cool too. I mean, all those things. I never dreamed I'd be doing this for a living, but looking back, I'm like, well, yeah, it's kind of obvious in a way. I just took a winding road to get here.
Yeah.
But I guess we all do.
So did you just pick up the guitar one day and start, or?
Kinda. I mean, I started on piano, so I had that bass, you know, but you know, I've always been a person that thought outside the box, and I can't really help it. And I always had the lessons, but I didn't like the structure of it. I didn't like being in a room with all the super smart kids doing these music theory things. You know, I'm the kid that showed up when they said, pick out the sheet music for the song you want to play at the recital. And I show up with Joan Jett.
Yeah.
I Love Rock and Roll. And they're like, no, you're not going to play that. And so as I got a little bit older, I just was always trying to get out of the lessons.
Yeah.
And finally my mom just was like, whatever, we're not going to force you to do whatever. And then I was athletic, growing up. I had sports. I was really, my dad's side of the family was agricultural. So I was into that. So I had different interests, and then, you know, over a period of time, I just started having a desire to write. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't let myself think, oh, you can write a song. I thought that's ridiculous. But I could accept writing a poem because a poem could be anything. So then I kind of thought, well, you know, I could pick up a guitar and figure it out. I had dabbled with it all growing up.
Right.
But never got real serious about it. And I actually bought my cousin's guitar and started playing.
You still got it?
I don't have that one.
Okay.
But I wish I did.
Oh God, what was it?
It was just a little Takamine.
Yeah.
It was a nice guitar, but because it was hers, I wish I would have kept it for maybe her girls or something. But I didn't have the foresight at the moment that I wish I'd had. But I just stuck with it, and then I wrote some songs. I had a few covers that I knew, and I went to an open mic. I thought, well, I'm just going to have this experience. It won't last, and this is a good time for me to try this, I
love that. It won't last.
And I was like the only person there that could actually play through their songs.
Yeah.
And then I went to another one, and then somebody invited me to play a songwriter night. And then I got paid like $25 somewhere.
Ooh, big money.
And I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm a hustler by nature. I'm an entrepreneur for sure. And it was on. Like, I just started booking gigs. I didn't even know how to set up or run a PA. And I was booking myself in gigs. And, here we are today.
Yay. With a big old Josie award and another award from
Radio Wigwam.
Yep, Radio Wigwam.
Yeah. Talking to you. Been on the road. Just played Riptide Festival in Fort Lauderdale. And
yeah, I know. I wanted to go down there so bad.
Man, it was a blast.
But I did get to see the videos that was posted.
It was so fun.
And then what was funny was Kirby was supposed to be here for one of my Christmas shows. And then I seen where all y'all were booked down there on the same day. I called Paula Ann and I was like, hey, you got 2 Kirbys? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, you got Kirby in Florida. What's up?
Oops. Oops.
And she was like, oh shit.
Kirby and I had a blast at Riptide. I got to play tour manager with Kirby because
I heard that.
I got there the day before and went from, getting really hassled by security to start things off to having them all being my best friends, and just had a blast meeting everybody that works with Odyssey. And then I wound up getting Kirby and I backstage for Jelly Roll. We got to meet him and
I seen the pictures, man.
Have a good time. So
that was cool.
It was really Riptide Festival it couldn't have been any better for me. It was awesome.
And you got to play Mama Bear too. Only thing I didn't like was I wished Kirby had a band behind her. Now, did you do solo?
I wish that I had a band behind me too, but it just wasn't something I could make happen for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played solo acoustic. But
yeah, well, ain't nothing wrong with solo acoustic. There's some songs out there I really wish that they were acoustic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you hear so many bands and you never hear them play anything else. It's just all electric all the time.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, I would love to hear this one song just acoustic.
Yeah.
It would be awesome. I mean, I think more people should do like acoustic sets every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, it gets old when that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
But,
well,
it's nice to mix it up.
It's like, I think Godsmack in 24 is actually doing selective acoustic concerts.
That's awesome. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, I would too. Cause I mean, they're pretty daggum heavy,
Real heavy.
And then to transform that over into acoustic. But I mean, Sully Erna, he had that solo album and it was really orchestrated, had a cello, all this other stuff. And I was just like, I didn't know he was into that stuff.
Kind of brings it back to the MTV Unplugged days.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, that was cool.
But that's what I grew up in, you know? I mean, I remember when the Michael Jackson Thriller album came out, dude, there was like 15 kids in front of this TV set of the one person on the block that had cable.
Right. And it was so huge. I've been really into just listening to rock ballads for the past several days, and those songs from whether it was from the 70s or the 80s, maybe like early 90s, but then everything was changing. Those songs were so big, whether it was Journey, Def Leppard, Heart, Poison,
Warrant.
I'm obsessed with Sometimes She Cries, just the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
The guitar intro. I'll just keep starting it over. Those bands were so big.
Oh, yeah.
And those songs were so huge.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, we just don't get that anymore.
REO Speedwagon is another one.
Yes, for sure. The Scorpions.
Yeah.
Foreigner.
I always liked, I can't ever remember his name. I'm bad with names to begin with. That's why I wrote yours down. But the Scorpions lead singer, that voice.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
And when he broke out in some of them slow ballads, man, it was just like butter. I mean, just, oh my God.
Yeah.
Drive you nuts.
So unique, and just as soon as he starts singing, you know it's him.
Yeah.
It's just great. Just makes the hair on my arms stand up.
I just want to go back and see some concerts again.
I know, right? I know it.
So that's what was bad because, oh God, what year was it? I can't think what year it was. Alice Cooper came to town. And I was at the Alice Cooper show. I bought tickets for it. And then I had a light gig. Halfway through his show, I had to leave.
I feel your pain.
And I'm just like, dude. But we didn't have video. We didn't have all that crap back then, you know.
I miss so many shows I'd like to see just because I always have a gig.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it is.
Well, that's what was so cool about being down there. You got to watch Jelly Roll. You got all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I took it all in too. It's awesome you get to play, but it's all the people you meet. You know, I'd just be sitting there just chilling, thinking about what I might do next. And somebody would just walk by and say, hey, I saw your show earlier. Good job, you know, and just meeting all the people. That's what makes it so special.
The fans are awesome.
Yeah. And they're all there for the music.
Yeah.
And to have a good time.
That's what I love.
It's just the best. It's just like a layup.
Mm-hmm. It really is. You know, that's one thing I liked about, I had Wade Jennings on the show one time. And he was, you know, I brought up the point that he could play any venue he wanted to, but he's playing smaller venues and stuff. And what I really loved about what the man said, he said, I can contact more people and more fans. He said, I don't care if I have to stand there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll meet you.
Yeah.
I'll sign an autograph. I'll take a picture with you. And I'm like, if more people were like that, you have a fan base forever.
That's really cool. I'm a big fan of Chrissy Hynde from the Pretenders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And growing up, I wasn't really a fan of their music that much, but it was only when I tried to cover one of her songs and I tried to do what she does that I realized how great she is. Mm-hmm. And I just went to like Chrissy Hynde rock and roll school.
Yeah.
And ultimately, when I cover someone's song, it comes out like me, but hopefully I learned something from them in the process. And she says that, I mean, they went on tour with Guns N' Roses and did big arenas and stadiums and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like they did those big shows so that they could go do small clubs. She loves to keep rock and roll in the clubs, just the same thing you were talking about, to be up close and intimate with people. And so I think that's a unique take on it.
Oh, yeah. It's funny that you brought her up because back in the day, all the guys, they were crushing on different ones. But the way she carried herself, I was crushing on Chrissy Hynde. It was just something about her that was just, I just thought she was hot as all get out.
She's a badass.
Yeah, you know, and everybody else is like, you know, the girls from Heart, you know, Ann Wilson and Nancy Wilson. Thank you. You gave me a jump start on remembering their names.
I definitely know those two names.
Oh, yeah. I think when they come out with Barracuda, that really, really launched them.
What a song.
Oh, the heavy riff, the everything. It was kind of maybe a little bit off kilter for them because up until that time, they wasn't really that heavy.
That's true.
You know, and then that just kind of kicked it off. And then I was watching, I got to quit memorizing stuff. I'm trying to remember stuff, and I'm like, when I try to remember stuff, I can't remember it.
You got CRS.
Yeah, pretty much. Once you hit 50, it's just all downhill.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you know. It was some show.
Come on, David, you can do it.
I can do it. I just can't. I need assistance in Google.
You need your producer here.
I need my producer here.
Telling you.
Well, usually it's Julie. Julie, I'll mention something. I can't remember it, and she's fiddling and getting stuff going.
Chrissy Hind is still great.
Oh, yeah.
She still looks great. Her voice is still great.
And she's welcome on my show anytime.
Yeah. I'll be sure to tell her that as soon as I play a show with her.
That'd be awesome. Tell her you know a podcaster still got a crush on her.
Like that thinks rock and roll belongs in small clubs. She'll be here.
I'm going to find it.
I believe in you.
I don't know. Let's see. We can do the, that's not it. It's driving me nuts. Anybody know the Jeopardy theme song? Da, 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 da.
Na, na, na.
You do it better than I do.
Da, 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 da.
Barracuda cover. There it is. There it is. Gretchen Wilson and Alice in Chains.
Oh, okay.
They did that. And, I mean, Gretchen sounded just like her.
Yeah.
And Alice in Chains was just jamming on that song.
They're ridiculous. They're great.
They're very diverse. And a lot of people don't really know that, I guess. They could play probably pretty much any daggum thing you wanted.
I'm sure.
That'd be cool. You had Alice in Chains backing you up on stage.
That'd be real cool.
Yeah. You wouldn't even be able to sing. You'd be like,
say yes to that.
Be crazy. You have a usual band that you play with, or?
Yeah, I got some guys. I have a roster of players that I tap, and they're all super pro and great. And some of them are in Texas, and some of them are in Alabama, and
just spread out.
Whatever we can make work. You know, it always comes down to the budget.
Oh, yeah.
Of what we can and can't do. And I have a lot of players who believe in me and have played a lot of shows for me where they didn't get paid very much. And I've tried to be really good to them on the ones where we got paid pretty well. Yeah. And take good care of them because I sure appreciate them because I've gone through a lot of players to get the ones I've got now, and boy, they're just priceless. And there's nothing like being on stage with them. I mean, it's just absolute magic.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like it when the magic happens. Yeah. You know, it just jams out. Everybody's just right in that groove together, you know. I
read a quote once, and I don't know who to credit it to, but it said, traveling alone is freeing, but traveling together is fulfilling. And that's how I feel about, because I play a lot of acoustic shows just because of the budget, and I go on the road by myself, and I play band shows where I can. Yeah. But a lot of it I've just had to do myself. But when you get to share that experience with those other musicians who are, they're bringing joy to it and getting joy from it. Their attitude is great. They're there to make it the best it can be. Yeah. It's so fulfilling.
Yeah. And that's what I love. You know, like I said, that magic happens, and it's like you almost forget about the audience in front of you because you're just having the time of your life just jamming out there.
Yeah. I mean, totally. It makes the 90% of this job that is the non-sexy stuff.
Yeah.
That is just the being consistent and putting up with stuff and overcoming stuff and not giving up. One moment of that magic on stage makes it all worth it. It'll take me 6 months down the road.
Oh yeah. Cause moving a bunch of amps sometimes.
Yeah.
That don't carry you far.
No, I still got to carry my own stuff. So
What kind of rig you got?
I'm a Telecaster girl and I like P90 neck pickups in my Telecasters.
Awesome.
And I have a Fender 212 DeVille amp that's older than me.
Yeah, I was fixing to say that thing's got some tone.
It's got some miles on it, and that's what I love. And for my acoustics, my favorite acoustic, my workhorse is my Gibson J45, and I also have a Martin. So I'm good.
You're good.
I got my basic workhorse guitars, you know.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, on the telly, you got a hell of a setup.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think I need to hear it pretty bad right now.
And we didn't bring it.
I know, right?
We could have plugged in.
You could have just strummed power chords and changed tones for the listeners.
We could have done anything you wanted to. Hell, we could have sat here and recorded it if you wanted to.
Said, hey, here's me playing my wah pedal and pretending I'm a great lead guitar player. That's my trick, David. Don't tell anybody. That's my trick.
I ain't telling nobody.
It's funny, too. I had a phase where, talking about all the disappointments of this, being in this business very long, I had a period of time, I guess it was early this year. Was it this year or last year? It kind of all runs together.
I have no clue.
I didn't have a lead guitar player, and I had a really great one. And great guitar player, terrible person. So necessity is the mother of invention with me.
Exactly.
Like if somebody says, hey, we need this, it needs to happen now. I'm your girl. I will perform. I will deliver.
Yeah.
So I just sat down. I was like, I guess I'm going to have to learn to really play lead guitar now to some degree. So I just sat down and started learning some of the riffs, the signature riffs on my songs. I was like, these knuckleheads have not been trying at all because I don't even play lead guitar. And I just sat down and started learning the signature riffs, you know. And so some of them I still play them. But I love to hire a great guitar player I've got a few other ones now that play with me they'll just smoke the solos. I'm like, I'm out on that part.
Yeah.
But I got this little part right here.
Oh yeah. And it all comes together.
It's so much fun. And you learn and you grow and you get better. And I learn from these guys all the time.
That's what I've told people for years because one of the things my dad always told me, when you wake up every morning, it's a learning experience all day till you go to bed.
That's for sure.
And if any time you wake up and you think you know it all, stay in bed.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's another day. Yeah. Start learning all over.
Life will fix that know-it-all problem pretty quick.
Yeah. Real quick. Get on the phone with somebody. They'll fix it for you real quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Your light bill is due.
Yeah.
That kicks it all off for you.
That'll do it.
Man. You got any shows around here lately?
I'm going to be playing in North Alabama.
Not too far.
Not too far. Muscle Shoals is...
No, I go to Muscle Shoals. I want to stay down there.
Well...
I'm gonna have to book you somewhere up here so I can come see.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I got a lot of friends in Muscle Shoals. It was one of those serendipitous intersections of life. So I'll be playing at Natchez Trace Harley.
Oh, sweet.
On Saturday. They're having It's Too Cold for a sale. So I'll be inside and we'll all be warm and they'll throw a good party.
Awesome.
So I'll be down there Saturday. I'll be in Huntsville, Alabama the next weekend. And,
hey, you could actually get on the Harley circuit.
Oh yeah, I play a lot of Harley dealerships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one out in East Tennessee. They got a huge stage out back.
Yeah. I was just in Florida. Man, some of those dealerships, they've got restaurants, bars, huge stages. I mean,
yeah,
it's really awesome.
Yeah, because see which one is Thunder Beach. They have Thunder Beach every year. I think twice a year now.
Yeah.
And they've got a huge place.
Yeah. You can't beat the biker community.
No, I sold all mine. I just got out of it.
Oh man, we could have went for a ride.
Well, I mean, when you have in 1 year alone 6 near misses, and people act like they don't even know who you are, or they didn't even see you, or whatever. I just sold them. I got out of it.
Yeah.
And Nashville is getting crazy.
That's one thing about me is I don't ride in the city. I go out in the country. And I mean, something can happen anywhere, but yeah, I don't ride in Dallas. I don't ride in Nashville.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't blame you. I won't.
Yeah, I want to enjoy it. I don't do it to be stressed out. I ride to de-stress.
Yeah. And it's that. Actually, I sold the bikes and bought a side-by-side.
There you go.
That's all I had to worry about was getting out in the woods.
Yeah.
Getting whatever. This is why I don't like Julie here, because now I need something to drink. I'm putting the camera on you. I want to hear about your horse days.
You can hear about them. Well, it's like Chris Ledoux says, even cowboys like a little bit of rock and roll.
Oh, definitely.
Everybody I grew up rodeoing with liked only rock and roll, just about. And my dad's side of the family was an agricultural family, and I got that bug pretty bad. I even went to college and got an ag business degree. I ran the college farm by myself. I replaced 2 guys that were running it and ran it by myself single-handedly. But I just wanted to drive tractors and rodeo and ride horses and listen to classic rock,
Yeah. Was you barrel racing or?
Yeah, and I team roped a little bit too, but not really competitively. And as a kid, I grew up in the Midwest, but I would sit in the living room and look on the atlas. We had a big atlas,
right,
back then, and study the Texas map and think about where I wanted to live in Texas.
Yeah.
And so when I was out of college, I was gone and moved out west. And so I always say I grew up in age in the Midwest, but I grew up in every other way in Texas.
Yeah.
And rodeoed, trained horses, worked for cutting horse trainers. If you don't know what that is, like a lot of the stuff you see on the show Yellowstone.
Yep.
That's what we did, and trained horses, sold horses, worked for different ranches. We even worked for an equine dentist once. I mean, just about anything you could do with a cow or a horse, I've done that job.
Yeah,
and I still love it, and that's where the Harley came in. So when I decided to do music full time, I was working for my neighbor's ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked what I did, but I knew I needed to make a choice. I'm an all or nothing person.
All in, eh?
And I had to make a choice. Are you gonna really try this or what? And I made the choice to go all in with music. And then for several years, I just really didn't do anything for fun. And at first, music, doing that, it's not that it's not always fun, but it just changes. And I didn't have any kind of hobby away from music. Like music was kind of a hobby because I was so green.
Right.
And it was all new. But then it changes, and I needed something that I did for myself. And, I traded 4 legs for 2 wheels.
Well, it's more horsepower.
Yeah. less feed, less hay.
Yep.
And
less shoes.
Yeah. Just stays in the trailer.
Yeah, because
barn.
farriers are expensive nowadays.
Man, I remember when it was $35 you could get shoes on a horse.
Mm-hmm.
And whew.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And it's kind of like everything else. When I was in high school rodeoing and doing all that, you didn't have to be a billionaire to do it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to have corporate sponsors and all that. It was just people, we had a rodeo, there was a dance after, you might have camped where the rodeo was. I mean, it was just such a good, clean, fun kind of a deal. I mean, but I do think horses really saved my life in a lot of ways, because I was very passionate about it. I had my horses to take care of. I would get up before school and be at the barn, doing chores. And I really think horses saved my life, for those crucial teenage years,
Oh, yeah.
and all of that. But I hope one day to maybe have some again, just so I can give my nieces and nephews that experience. But we're not there yet.
It'll be awesome. And we're going to take a break. So, yeah, I mean, see, when I was growing up, my dad he rented a house that we all lived in, and his friend lived right next door. And we'd always go out to the guy that we were renting from farm, and we'd help out on the farm and do stuff like that, And I got to where, because I was born and raised in Nashville, and here I am out on 1,200 acres, and I just fell in love with all of it.
Yeah.
But then when I got older, I think really, and probably too with you, probably feel the same way. It kind of gave you a work ethic. I'm tongue-tied now.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time tongue-tied and big time work ethic. See,
yeah.
Now you're passing it on to me. Now I'm tongue-tied.
I'm sorry. Just blame David.
Well, when your great-grandparents or grandparents grew up during the Depression, and that's like a part of the language of your childhood, and they have those values and work ethic and spending habits.
Yeah.
And now kids aren't growing up with that.
No.
My both sides of my grandparents had elaborate gardens.
Yeah.
Just they enjoyed it, but that was food,
Yeah.
And
there was pretty flowers that came out of some of those, and then the fruit and the vegetables and everything else,
Yeah. And my dad and I would talk about, the way I farmed versus the way he grew up farming with a team of mules or a team of horses with his dad, my grandpa. And then by the time I was involved in it, it was modern and corporate and all the things.
Yeah, you got a tractor, you got the corn binder, you got everything.
Yeah, so, I'm in school studying soil types and all these.
Do you think they put too much science into it now?
Oh God, I don't know.
I think so.
When it came time, because when it comes time to go get it done and make a living and eat or not eat, literally, a lot of that doesn't matter.
Yeah. See, what I want to do, I'm probably too old for it right now, but what I would like to do is I would like to have a little 100-acre spread, and I wouldn't mind raising cattle.
Yeah.
Have a little plot, maybe 5 acres, do nothing but, all the vegetables and everything.
Yeah.
My grandmother could can like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Mine too.
It'd be 10 years later and you open up strawberry jam. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. It was just a totally different life.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday dinners and fried chicken and
prayer before you eat.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah.
I like that life.
I do too.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go get 100 acres.
Okay. I'm in. I'll pay cash.
Yeah, I'd have to get credit, but anyway. That's just the way it goes.
But I remember my great grandma who, grew up during the Depression or lived through it, telling me one day, Rhonda works as hard as her Uncle Larry. If anybody knows my Uncle Larry, he and my Aunt Terry, they work hard. That's probably Aunt Terry's biggest complaint about Uncle Larry. He works all the time.
Works too much.
He's retired.
Yeah.
He's not retired.
You don't retire.
But I mean, when I got that compliment from my great grandma.
Oh, that was a big one.
Oh man.
That's a big one.
On like Donkey Kong. Yeah. And one of my friends, we were talking today just about, everybody's spread so thin these days and it's hard and long days and talking about somebody having some long nights. And I said, well, just about every day, I go from the time I wake up till at least midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even start rehearsing or working on music till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, maybe even 10 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, you have to have that do or die, the guts to just want to do it so bad and be excellent at whatever you're doing so bad that you're willing to self-manage.
Yeah.
Because nobody's making me do it. I'm by myself most of the time.
Yeah.
To have that drive, just not everybody has that.
No. Well, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm at work at 5:30. I get off at 3:30. If I have a guest, come home, shower, set up, boom. If I don't have a guest, I still come home, shower, and boom, right here at the table, working on the show stuff and everything else.
Exactly.
I get in bed on a good night, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And that's getting up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. And then on a real hectic night, like if I'm on a deadline, I've got to have editing. I got to get this done, get that done. Sometimes it's 11, 12 o'clock at night before I go to bed.
Yeah. I believe it.
4-hour nap, get up and hit it hard.
Yeah.
But that's the only way you're going to achieve anything.
You're darn right.
That's what Dad always told me. He said, if you want anything, go work for it.
I've always approached the music as an entrepreneur. I mean,
yeah,
and I've told other artists, you can't just be an artist anymore.
No, you can't.
Nobody's coming to discover you and mold you into the creative being genius you're meant to be. They're looking for businesses that are already thriving.
Yeah.
And you have to be an entrepreneur. You can't just be an artist unless you just want it to be your hobby, and that's great. Yeah. Make it your hobby. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, go play for friends, whatever.
Nothing wrong with that.
But say you got, and this is something else I always talk about. It's a numbers game. How many followers? How many subscribers? How many this? How many that? How many views? And I stress it on the show all the time. If your favorite artist has got a YouTube channel, dude, it's an inch. You just got to move your little finger and hit subscribe.
Yeah.
Because the more subscribers an artist has on YouTube, that's the first thing booking agents look at.
Yep. It's so important.
Yeah. And then they're looking at your Facebook page and your TikTok and this and that. And then they want to know, well, why don't you have an Instagram? I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's not a good enough answer.
Yeah.
You got to have all those numbers up, and then you get booked more shows. People that actually have seen you on YouTube that want you in person, they'll be able to get you there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things. But that's what I talk about all the time on here. If I could just get people to just an inch, really, seriously, and hit subscribe and help everybody out. My little slogan is, it helps us all.
Yeah, it really does.
You know, from podcasting to artists to just different people, you know, with a different whatever they got going on. It helps everybody.
Yeah, a rising tide lifts all ships.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what I don't remember where that came from, but it's a famous quote. But
that's a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's true. And if you can really mean that, which I do, and you can get people to buy into that by treating them right and showing them that your words and actions match, people will go somewhere with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I like. I mean, you start getting followers, man, and they're just like, and I think COVID had a lot to do with it, but it's like the fans are more interested in their artists now. And they're watching and they're checking them out. And as soon as you put a video up, you got people watching it. Everybody wants to know, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. That's, you know, COVID changed a lot of crap. So.
Oh boy, it really did.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. I was trying to think of something. I've totally blanked. You ever get a brain fart from hell? I just blanked. Yeah.
I need more of them. My brain needs a break sometimes.
You want a bourbon?
Never stops. Oh, no.
Every now and then we'll sit and have a bourbon.
I've been doing, I've been calling it Christmas movie cardio when it's too cold for me to walk outside, which is what I really love to do. And I have to walk on the treadmill at the gym. I just think it's like watching paint dry. So I've been watching Christmas movies while I do that. So I watched Christmas Vacation yesterday at the gym. It made it so much better and gave my brain a break.
Yeah, well, I got friends that's our favorite quote every now and then. Shitter's full.
Yeah. There's so many great quotes in that. And then even just at the very end of that movie, he goes, I did it.
Yep. It's hilarious.
It's just awesome.
I tell you, I got to say this because to me, it's the most stupid but funniest part of the movie. And I think a lot of people overlook it. The boss man gets kidnapped.
Yep.
They're in the living room. The cops break in. He's standing there with his hands up. She's wrapped lower with her hand right on, like protecting the family jewels.
Right
here.
On the package.
Yeah. But the thing I found funny was when the boss's wife comes in. She lets go, reaches across, shakes her hand, and it right back on it.
Just true greatness. I mean,
that to me is the most hilarious part of it, and a lot of people don't even catch it.
Yeah. No, that's just epic.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's funny as all get out. What's your other favorite Christmas show?
I've got several. I watched Medea's Christmas last night.
Dude, I was thinking about watching that tonight.
I laughed out loud so much because that's the one that has Larry the Cable Guy and the lady who plays Peggy Hill in King of the Hill.
Yep.
And I needed to laugh, and it was so great. I was like, this is awesome.
Yep. I love Medea.
Yeah. Just great. I could go watch it again right now.
Oh, well. TV's over there.
All right. Sounds good.
But yeah, I don't know. I've been more into Christmas this year than previous years. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know if I had some kind of bug or Christmas boo ha ha, whatever you want to call it. But this year I did the outside of the house. Julie and them decorated for Christmas on the set, and
Yeah, it looks great.
And I was just like, it's one of those times, when you get done with everything and you just sit back and just, yeah.
And I think it comes back to community too with that, because I'm by myself so much and I've been on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of been a bit of a Scrooge about it all.
Yeah.
And busy and just, those buses pulled in, and then I was talking to a few people that got off the bus and
right.
were just chatting, and they told me that they were out doing the Christmas gifts for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it just made me feel like better.
Yeah.
I was like, somebody's out there giving back, and
yeah,
what the season is really about versus the bad drivers and the getting cut off and the hustle and the bustle and the insanity of that energy. I cannot stand, but to be around some generous souls and just people doing the thing, man.
Yeah.
I can do that all day long.
Actually did an interview with Miss Alicia that she's been in Christmas for Kids for a long, long time. Her parents were in it, back when it started, way back in the day. And I was all in. Hook me up, and they have, like on Monday, they had the bus show, and all the buses, the bus companies and everything, they park a bunch of buses there and everything else. And then you have artists come out, and for $5 you get through the gate. You get to meet artists. You get to get autographs and pictures and, whatever you need. And they go around judging the buses on Christmas lights and decorations, and it was just awesome as I'll get out. I got to actually be on one of the buses this year. And she's going to shoot me if I say her name wrong. Kaylee Nettles? Kaylee Nettles. I can't remember. Because she got onto me. She's such a sweetheart. She's a nice, nice lady. We were getting ready to leave, and she's like, well, you've been saying my name wrong online. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I can relate, because I'm Ronda with no H.
That screwed me up when I was first looking at it, and I'm like, there's no H in there.
Yeah.
Ronda.
My dad is Ron, and I'm named after my dad.
Ah. Yeah, that's what it is. We're playing word search here, y'all. I can't find it. I'm done.
You were on the bus, though, and it was...
I was on the bus with Miss Nettles. There we go. I can say it like that. And she's done it like 9 years in a row. She was very, very gracious to share the bus with me. And we sat and we talked, and I think we had over like 60-something people come on the bus. And we were parked right up front as soon as you come through the gate.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was really nice. I think the $5 to get in goes straight to Christmas for Kids for the money and everything to help kids out with Christmas. And then the next day, all the chaperones and everything go down. They get checked in. Buses go get the kids with the chaperones on it, and they go basically have a big old place where the kids just hang out, listen to music, and have a pizza party and get to do all kinds of stuff.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of like something I'd want to do.
For real.
And then when they come back to where they first staged out of, it's at the Walmart parking lot. And chaperones take the kids into Walmart and let them shop till you drop, baby.
Man, that's awesome.
And I don't know about you, but the way I was raised up, you know, is dad worked, mom didn't. She took care of the house and the kids and the cooking and all that other stuff. Kids, listen at me. I'm almost an only child. But,
well, you were a handful probably.
yeah, I was. Yeah, definitely. But anyway, back then kids really didn't think about, was we rich? Was we poor? Was we this? Was we that? I mean, I always thought hamburgers came on 2 pieces of bread,
Right.
white bread, you know?
Right.
And then people start talking about buns, and I'm like, I'm telling you, to this day, I would rather have those 2 pieces of bread because those 2 buns are too big. It's like, I want more of the meat, you know? But looking back on it, you could almost put me in that category, underprivileged children.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was times, you know, you wondered why white beans and cornbread was there, but where's the meat, you know? But you ate them white beans and cornbread.
Yeah.
And you went on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's what I loved about it, though, because these kids get something that they may not have ever gotten.
Oh my goodness. It's really hard to imagine. We had some lean years growing up for sure.
Yeah.
But I never didn't have the necessities. You know, I never went a Christmas where I didn't get multiple presents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never really did with that. I may not have had a bunch of the coolest things. I might have had one of the cool things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's like to think about, I missed a lot of this giving stuff this year because I had to go on the road. So I missed Coats for Kids at American Eagle Harley in Texas. I missed these different things that I kind of wanted to be a part of. And my mom always does the angel tree where you get a kid and you go shopping for them. And just to think about, you know, a kid in America is not going to have anything for Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's heartbreaking.
Just rip my heart out of my chest and stomp on it.
Yeah. But it happens.
It happens.
Thank you, opioids.
Man.
I couldn't even pronounce that right.
I like the way you said it, though.
It's the opioids. Yeah, it's, I don't know. To me, it's always been, you know, it's Christmas. Show a little bit of kindness, you know?
Yeah.
Hug somebody. Tell somebody you're awesome.
Slow down.
Oh my God, that drives me nuts.
Just chill.
Yeah. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it drives me nuts because it's like, with what we both do, you have the chaos. You have some confusion. And it's, you know, that's going to happen. It really is. But those moments you can just slow down. I get so much more done.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The best thing I can do is just go get on my Harley and clear my mind. You know, I've almost got to be moving. I do take time where I just sit and I'm still and I read and I do whatever, but my body needs to move. I go for a walk.
Yeah.
Get on the bike, you know, just something that's just a little bit almost like your shower thoughts. You know, your best ideas are in the shower. It's kind of that same concept, but
I sing the best in the shower.
Exactly. But that's when I'm the most productive and have the, you know, that's when the idea comes. It's like everything could have been impossible up to that point. And all of a sudden it's like, well, here's 3 new ideas about how this can work really well.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just learning all the time.
Pretty much. But If you can't learn something, go back to bed.
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
Sleep when we're dead, I guess.
That's what my buddy Mike Bowers always said.
I mean,
Of course, he said several things, and some of them I'm not going to say because they don't really make sense, but in a way, they make sense.
kind of like Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
Did you watch his Netflix special?
No.
Oh, man, it's really good.
You know, believe it or not, I haven't had cable TV in like 15 years. Can't stand it.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
You pay for a cable to come into your house. It's supposed to have all these movies. You get, what, 500 channels or something now? Ain't a damn thing on.
Yeah.
I got so sick of it. And now I just stream everything.
Yeah, me too.
It's a lot more fun.
I know, right?
Whatever you want. You can
Exactly.
watch whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that more.
You can add stuff. You can unsubscribe. You can do whatever. But I didn't know a lot about Yogi Berra and all his sayings that didn't make sense. But when you think about it, they totally made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed that. It was pretty cool.
Which ones?
You might like it.
Which ones? Which ones stood out?
I can't remember them
Oh,
now.
come on.
No, I really can't. He got credited with, did he say it? Did he get credited with saying it ain't over till it's over?
I don't
Something
remember.
like that. And there were a lot of quotes that writers made up and said that he said, but he didn't really say them.
Yeah.
But he seemed like such a genuine guy. And
I never, and I guess it's my bad. I mean, I was never, and you're going to laugh probably, but I was never that sports guy.
yeah,
You know, in high school, I was hanging with my buds watching, Tennessee whoop, Vanderbilt, something like that, or the Army Navy game, or, stuff like that. But I was never really into them.
yeah,
I was more of the kid that wanted to be outside doing something,
yeah,
and it was just baseball wasn't my thing. But if you wanted to play baseball, hey, I'm right there.
yeah.
We used to all meet at Shelby Park and play football every Sunday. It got so big, we had actual teams on either side with the number of people we had. It was crazy. No pads, no helmets. Go out there and just whoop each other's ass. I can't even remember if we kept score. I just know we just kept playing.
Wow. That would never happen today.
No, it wouldn't. Well, I mean,
Somebody
it would.
would get sued.
Well, somebody'd want a, participation trophy for being there. Dude, you never played.
Oh.
But I was there.
Somebody would get their feelings hurt.
Well, definitely. I ain't got no filter. I mean, this is me.
Yeah.
Love it or leave it.
Yep.
Wonder if Yogi said that.
Maybe. There's no telling. There's no telling.
Oh, God. I think the cats are getting to me.
Uh-oh. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you are, but I'm coughing my head off for some
Yeah,
damn
you
reason.
are.
Yeah. Driving me nuts. All right, tell you what. Why don't you tell everybody all your socials
I'll make it real easy.
and your website? You got a link?
A LinkedIn?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really use it, but I have one.
I got a TikTok. I don't even know how to log into it. My daughter does it.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I know. At least I get some help. Not today. Nobody else is here.
Nope.
Shame on them.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
We made it just fine.
Okay. That was weird. But anyway. Tell everybody your socials. That camera right there.
The easiest thing to do is just go to rondaraymusic.com. RONDARAY music.com. From there, you'll see the links to all my socials: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
YouTube.
TikTok, YouTube. All of it's right there. So you just remember one thing, go to one place, take you everywhere you need to go.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
And thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah.
You didn't have fun?
I have fun. I do this all the time. All the time. But what I like is somebody that I can actually talk to.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with.
Yeah.
Run down memory lane.
Yeah. It's a blast.
I loved it.
It was fulfilling.
I've never heard it called that.
Remember, traveling alone is freeing, but traveling together is fulfilling.
Exactly.
So it was great.
I got to write that down.
I've had a very non-Scroogey day. I've had a very joy of the 'tis the season day. So thanks for adding to it.
Awesome.
With your jingle jangle.
Jingle, jangle, jingle. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. And I don't know. We might go get into something. Who knows? Remember, please, everybody, like, share, follow, subscribe. All your favorite artists. Me would be nice. And this was a good way to kick off the new year.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it the best one yet.
There you go. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Have a good day and a precious tomorrow. Bye.